Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I want to have a look at the DM today and how his energy is. It's been very much in my mind today. So I am going to be doing a karmic read as well, a DM karmic read. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, we'll see sort of, how things go and what spirit want me to be doing. But in the meantime, as I say, the DM's energy has been on my mind today. So let's just have a look at how he is. And we'll also pull a few cards to see how he's feeling about the DF at the moment. Okay, so if you're a DF that's watching, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the like button and click the notification bell and anything else you can click. That'd be great. A few of you have been approaching me regarding private readings. I will be offering those very soon, and so please keep a lookout in the description below. That's going to be coming up literally, well, I'm hoping in the next few days. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that, and that it'll all fall together. So yeah, if you want a more personalised twin flame reading, then please do look out for the private readings. Okay, let's get started. Spirit, this is for the DF collective, please, the divine feminines who are here. We're looking at the energy of the divine masculine at the moment, please. Okay, so we have firm foundation. This is interesting. Interesting to start with the firm foundation. Wow, we have material harvest. Wow. Okay, I missed that one. Sorry, Spirit. Which, that one? We have choose wisely. I'll come back over these in a moment, as I normally do. But let's just see what the other cards are. Wow, new beginnings. I'm very excited about this because, those of you that have been following the channel for a little while, the DM readings I've done in the last 2 or 3 weeks have been showing the DM as being very stressed. But these are really positive cards, so this is quite intriguing. We have financial and material changes, and we have disruption. The disruption card comes in to show those changes. Let's just pull 3 more because I want to see what follows from the disruption card actually. What else, please, Spirit? How else is the DM feeling, please? How else is the DM feeling? Okay, we have some emotional withdrawal. I'm going to go through these in just a second, so bear with me. We have destiny. Nice. And we have the solar plexus chakra card. So, I'm loving this, to be honest. I am loving this, DFs, because like I said, the last couple of readings I've done for the DM have shown him looking frustrated, looking stressed, lots of worries, having people around him who are deceiving him, or just making his life difficult, and here we are with these really positive cards, I have to say. So let's get going with them. The DM at the moment is putting down a firm foundation. Okay, so I think in the past we showed him having some worries about money, about his work, about, how he was going to move things forward, about, it's almost like he wanted to feel more sort of secure so that when he does step forward towards the DF, he's got more to offer. And here he is with what he feels is a firm foundation. Finances are definitely looking up because look at him, here he is with his material harvest, and there's a lot of light shining around him. There's a definite feeling of his mood having lifted, things feeling a lot more positive. He's been making some good choices. We have the choose wisely card. He's been making good choices. He's had, a lot of choices. Some of your DMs may be involved with music. Some of them may be involved with nature. There's also a watery feel about this card, which is quite interesting because I think it's the sky actually, but it always reminds me of water because of the sort of ripple effect across it. And that may well be the sun shining on the water actually. Yeah, possibly. But you know, this has shown that he's had different choices that he could have made, but he's making sure that he gets it right this time. And maybe that's why he's feeling more secure, because he's now made up his mind. The decision that he was, you know, worrying about, it looks like he's already made it because we have this firm foundation. And it certainly looks like we have a new beginning heading heading his way. You know, he's ready to make this new beginning. He feels much more secure about things, much more stable, and so therefore he's ready to step forward and make some sort of new beginning. We will look at, specifically at how he's feeling about divine feminine, but you know, this could be a beginning of any type at this stage in the reading. It could be to do with career, possibly, because we do have two material harvest cards here. You know, we have this one also, material and financial changes. Okay, I always like this ring though when it appears here, and especially where there's a new beginning, because this hand I always think is very significant, because this looks like a wedding ring to me, and that's just the way I choose to interpret it. But when it comes in a love reading, I always feel that that's significant. I know that it's on the right hand, but you know, a lot of countries do wear their wedding rings on their right hand. So just interesting here. You know, there's certainly, yes, we have a card of disruption, and it may be that he's had to sort of go through some disruption in order to reach the stage where he feels the foundation is now more stable and he's ready to make this new beginning. Although the disruption card also can just be here to show us a major change. Okay? So whatever these changes are that he's making, this new beginning, this foundation he's putting down, is going to lead to quite a big change. This always reminds me of the Tower card, actually. It reminds me of the Tower card and the Death card, actually, all in one go, because the Death card is all about big changes. The Tower card is all about things breaking down. And it does sort of feel, in this instance, more like a Tower moment, you know? Something big has had to change, or maybe something big has to change. Maybe he's not quite there yet. He's certainly on the right path, though, for this new beginning. But maybe he's got one final step of something that has to change. Because here we see him with a bit of emotional withdrawal. So it almost feels like, you know, following this foundation he's putting down, following this change, he needs to withdraw for a little while to recharge his batteries. I don't feel any heaviness at all. I don't feel that, you know, like in the previous readings, it felt quite sort of unsettled and stressy, you know. This isn't feeling that at all. No wonder I was guided today to do a DM reading, because this is a big change in how the DM's feeling, DF. So that can only be positive news for those of us who are DFs. And, you know, here he is thinking about it. He's also praying. And didn't we have in some of the DM readings recently, we had the cards coming up in one of the decks that I have that say talk to God, you know, or, you know, ask for spiritual guidance. Could well be that this is what the DM's doing, you know, it's almost like he's taking steps. And it's interesting that the disruption card it comes in blocks. So, you know, it feels like he's over the initial hurdles of his stepping forward. You know, it feels like he's going through... gosh, they've just said to me Dark Night of the Soul. Some of them will be going through Dark Night of the Soul. And, you know, he needs to work through all those, do all the shadow work and work through those issues. And this is what the DM has been doing in the last few months, I think. And that's why we've seen him being so unsettled. But certainly now, you know, he's getting himself on the right path, because look, we have the card of destiny and it's in the upright position. So, you know, these changes were very necessary for him to be able to move forward, to become more ready to be in alignment with UDF. It will be interesting to see what love cards come out, actually. He's feeling emotionally a lot more stable. You know, yes, he's going to withdraw himself for a little while to sort of reassess where he's at. But, you know, whatever tower moment or whatever changes that he's just about to deal with or he's just dealt with, you know, this is about his emotional health. Okay, so, you know, he has to put some effort into looking after his emotional health, but he will be able to get through this. That's really interesting. Let's just pull a few clarifiers for him, and then I want to look specifically, I'll clear these cards and we'll look specifically at his feelings towards the DF. Spirit, please can you tell us more about this foundation? I'll come back to that, Spirit, because I want to be specific. Please can we have a look at the firm foundation? What's this about, please? What's the DM been working on? Whoops-a-daisy. Here we go. There's a situation that he's been quite rebellious about. They've just said to me standing up for his rights. So it may be that he's had to be quite assertive in a situation. You know, it's maybe that he's had to be assertive to fight for new work contracts, or maybe he's having to do something a bit offbeat, you know, in terms of his work to, you know, bring in some more money, or, you know, maybe he's, I don't know, just approaching his work from a different angle, for example. But there's definitely something that he's done differently or made a change in or rebelled against in order to bring this firm foundation. Let me move the cards over slightly. There we go. So that's interesting. Let's have a look at the material harvest then, Spirit, please. Material harvest for the DM. What's this about? Oop, oop, oop. He's seeing things more clearly. You know, he's actually seeing things more clearly, and that's enabled him to move forward, you know, and to feel more joyous and more abundant, you know. It could be that he's just feeling a lot lighter, a lot brighter, and therefore he's better able to make his decisions because the fog has cleared, and here we have him in front of the light, and that's when he feels that he's achieving. Okay. So, what are the choices he's been making, Spirit? What are the choices? Oop. Okay. Okay, so he's made wide choices about who he shares his gifts with. So, you know, he's made wise choices about work. He's made wise choices about his, you know, relationships. You know, maybe it's interesting that we haven't, well, certainly not so far in this reading, we haven't had any of the people that seem to be dabbling, interfering, or, you know, doing the things that they were doing before around him. So, you know, he's been more selective, I think, with what he's been doing. But he's certainly been making some very good choices, and it has helped him, again, to move forward. I'm putting these in a very strange order, aren't I? Let's put it that way around, or that'll really annoy me. Strange. Okay, what are the new beginnings, please? What are the new beginnings? What can you show us about the DM's new beginning? What is this new beginning? What's the new beginning, please? Yeah, he's ready to let go of a situation. So you will know what resonates with you regarding your DM. You will know whether or not it relates to a work situation, a family situation, a karmic situation, or just, you know, friendships around that aren't particularly helping him to move forward, you know. So he's learned to let go of things that aren't for his highest good. By going with the flow and following his heart, it's going to bring him this new beginning. Sorry, let me just have a drink of water. Spirit, please sort my throat chakra, please. Please remove any blockages from my throat chakra at this moment in time. Please enable me to speak clearly. Thank you. Let's see how we go. Okay, so Spirit, what are the financial and material changes, please? It's this one. He's had some decisions to make. And I think, you know, that was sort of highlighted before because, you know, we had the Choose Wisely card. He's been making some really good decisions, so he must be feeling a lot lighter and a lot better. It could well be that, you know, the decisions he's made, maybe they've had some sort of legal involvement, you know, maybe he's sort of had to free himself from some sort of contract, whether it be a work contract, a personal contract, you know, if there is a third party involved in this situation, and I don't know that there necessarily is for this particular collective because I'm not seeing it, but you know, it may be that there's a shared property, maybe they shared a property with someone else, you know, and that needs sorting out. But he certainly, if you look at the concentration on this judge's face, it looks like he's been making wise judgments here. So again, you know, it seems like the DM's energy has really lifted. He's seeing things more clearly and he's on a bit of a roll, to be honest. It's so lovely to see after all the uncertainty that he's been through. You know, that's good, and it can only be good for us as DFs as well. So what is this disruption, please, Spirit? What is the disruption the DM's experiencing? What is the disruption, please? Which one do you want me to take? Both of them, okay. Let's see what these two are then. Yeah, I mean, the card of disruption, which, as we said earlier, is usually about quite a large change. It's usually a tower moment. I think the DM's reached the stage. He's been through enough hassle. He feels like he's been through a lot of emotional hassle. You know, and he will be because, you know, as DFs, if you're in separation at the moment, you know, you'll have been feeling it too. You feel each other's emotions, you mirror each other's emotions and you know, sometimes the actions as well. You know, and the DM's almost said, you know, enough's enough. This is time to make a big change that's going to sort this situation out. And so I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to make my decisions. I'm going to move forward. And, you know, he's feeling a lot safer about it. I think he's definitely feeling a lot more secure. We had this firm foundation at the beginning, and it just feels like he feels more settled and he's clearer in his mind, which is making it so much easier for him to move forward. So what's the emotional withdrawal about, please, Spirit? What's the emotional withdrawal about? Do you want me to take this one? You do. Whoop. Gosh, didn't we say that? Which one? It is this one, is it? Do you want me to take that? I just said, maybe. Didn't we talk earlier about the Talk to God cards that have come up in previous readings? You know, and I always say, you know, it depends on your divine masculine, you will know. I mean, I drew, in fact, it was this card I was talking about when I said it, because he has his hands together in prayer, you know, and here he is again. It may well be that your divine masculine is asking for divine intervention at this moment in time. He's maybe talking to spirit, talking to the universe, talking to God, in order to ask for assistance in taking the next step forward that he wants to take. And what was this one? Yeah, I mean, he's taking some time out because he doesn't want to rush through this situation. Like it says, it's not an emergency, you know. He's gone through a lot of changes. He's finally feeling a lot more stable. He's finally acting on the decision making that he's doing. So there's no need at this sort of, they've just said final stage, which is interesting. You know, there's no need for him to rush. So this is why he's taking some time out on his own to reassess so that he can take the next step forward and decide the best way to do that. Okay, so let's have a look at destiny. What's destiny about, please? Why is destiny here for the DM? Why is the destiny here? Is it this one? Yeah, I mean, they've just said the word harmonious. You know, we have a card of music here. Listen to the music. He wants to enjoy his life. He wants to be on his right path. He wants to follow his destiny. Okay, you know, and he wants to be happy. He wants things to be lighter. He wants to go with the rhythm of his life that he should be in, hence the music card. He seems in so much of a better place. Really, he does. Let's see why the solar plexus card is here. Is it this one, Spirit? Yes, they brought that out earlier. Yeah, you see, he's feeling so much better, and he may well be feeling very creative in terms of the next stage the next steps that he takes. So, you know, his emotions are in much better check. Yes, he went through this tower moment, or he's just about to, but he knows that he's feeling in a much stronger place, you know, so his emotions, he's looking after his own emotions, actually. Earlier I said he has to look after his emotions, but it seems like he's doing it, and it seems like he's you know, absorbing, not absorbing, that's not the right word, but he's sort of spending time doing creative pursuits, which is making him feel better and looking after himself emotionally, you know. That is so positive. I'm so pleased for him, honestly. Please bear in mind, I know that I must stop getting halfway through a sentence. I do it all the time, don't I? But what I wanted to say is, please bear in mind, I know a lot of you DFs are feeling frustrated, feeling angry. You've been waiting a very long time to come into alignment with your DM. And, you know, for a lot of DMs, you know, it's vice versa. They've been feeling exactly the same. And do bear in mind that although I refer to DM as he and the DF as she, you know, they can be DF, DM, any gender whatsoever, so any mix of genders too. You know, I just wanted to say that because I've been quite sort of he and she in this reading. But what I wanted to say is, do please bear in mind that while you're feeling angry with your DM, while you're feeling frustrated, I have had quite a few comments recently on particularly on the sort of DM and karmic reads, and yes, it is triggering and it is, you know, sometimes not nice to hear, but we need to, however hard it is, try our hardest to send our DMs positive energy, because they're just going through their development to get ready for alignment, to be in alignment, to be in union, okay? And, you know, if we send negative messages and, you know, anger in the direction of our DM, what we're doing is sending it back to ourselves, because they are us. We're from one flame, you know, we've just split into twin flames. So, you know, be very mindful when you're doing that. You know, I have to sort of make a decision as well with comments I receive. If I start getting too many sort of angry ones, I'm going to have to filter them, because I don't want the negative energy to be brought in to the channel for the DM collective. Okay, so just be, you know, I know it is frustrating. Trust me. I truly know. I'm there with you, you know. I've been through the fears, the tears, the anger, everything else, but it hasn't served any purpose, you know. It's only loving energy that will, when we're in the loving energy, spirit know that we're closer to being in alignment, okay? Because you cannot come into union if you're angry. There's still stuff that you need to work on, still stuff that you need to clear. So, sorry, I went off on a bit of a tangent then, but I just felt it needed saying, because, you know, it sort of will block you more than it will welcome him or her back in, you know. So let me just pop those on top there. And we're going to pull some different cards because I want to look at, I'll deal with those in a moment, shuffle all those in a moment. I want to look at how the DM is feeling towards the DF. Okay, so which ones do we have, Spirit? Which ones do you want? They want me to choose some of these, which is interesting. I was going to start with tarot, which is why I sort of hesitated, because in my mind I was thinking that we were going to do it with tarot, but they've just said start with these, so start with these we will. Okay, so what is the feeling, please? Spirit, how is the DM feeling about the DF? How is the Divine Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine at the moment? How is the Divine Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine? That one came first, I think. Are we okay? Okay, so the initial two cards, they're telling me to take three, so that one was the next one. This is positive, DFs. The DM is feeling blessed. He's blessed having you in his life, okay? Now, you know, regardless of whether you're together in the 3D or not, or regardless if you're not together, I mean, he's very aware of your existence, very aware. He's very aware of his feelings, and he's feeling blessed to have that connection with you, okay? But there is a change in the wind. So, you know, he's planning some sort of change. Remember, we're looking at how he's feeling about you at the moment. And he's feeling he needs to change this situation. So if you're in separation, this is what he is looking at the moment. There is definitely a change coming. But remember when we looked at him just a couple of seconds ago, he had that emotional withdrawal time where he's just planning his next stage. Well, here he is again. You know, this is not a speedy Divine Masculine, let's be frank. It really isn't. You know, but he's taking his time. And as I say, if that's the time he needs, then that's the time, you know, he has to take. Because it has to be right. What is so difficult with twin flame relationships is all the coming and going that goes on sometimes. And that's often because one party thinks they're ready, but they're actually not ready. And, you know, that, and also fear has a lot to play. So, you know, he's right by taking his time, however frustrating we feel about it. You know, he is taking time to breathe. This DM wants to get this right. And I think this came up in a previous reading too. He's quite, how do I want to describe this? He's quite old school in his approach, quite sort of, you know, he wants things to be done properly. So he doesn't want to sort of, although he may be tempted to come rushing in now that he's feeling more secure and feels he has perhaps more to offer, but he's taking his time because he wants to get it right. Let me move these over because again we'll do some clarifiers and that will probably be tarot. Let's see what else. How else is he feeling, please? How is the DM feeling towards the DF, Spirit, please? Yeah, he loves your feminine energy. Look at this. He's feeling that warmth, that loving energy coming from you, and that is why he's feeling blessed. So what is this change? This is intriguing. Aha. Now, again, isn't this interesting? Because in the previous spread, you know, just a few minutes ago, we started with firm foundation. Now we have building blocks. So having built sort of what seems to be the work side of things, sorting out any other issues that have been in his life, any other people who've been in his life. And having made those decisions, he's now planning the next change. And, you know, he's loving his divine feminine. He wants to make a change in the circumstances at the moment. So he's taking the time, as we saw, to put down some building blocks to make this new foundation with the DF. So let's see, what else? What will be the result of him taking this time out to breathe and assess, please? Spirit, you want me to take that one? Yeah, you know, look at this. He wants it to be magical. He wants it to be, he wants it to be perfect, but he wants it to be able to go the distance. He wants to be able to, do you remember we had, in the previous layout, we had the, it was something like, it said go with the flow on it. Let go and flow, it said. This is him letting go and flowing. But what he doesn't want to do is actually let go of you, DF. He wants to take you with him, you know, wherever he goes. Or he wants to come, maybe he wants to come towards you with this offer because he's feeling more stable. Yeah, you know, he wants to flow, which is why we've got water energy here. But, you know, you are his treasure. And so he wants to make sure that whatever he comes in with, or wherever he goes, that he carries this treasure with him always. Now, in the 5D, you're always with him, DF, you know, but if he wants to have you in the 3D, be with you in the 3D, he wants to make sure you're going to stay and that he's in a position to stay himself. We have hearts and we have stars here. So this is why he's taking his time. Like we said, he's putting down the foundations. He's putting the building blocks in place because he wants to make sure that, you know, he can be, excuse me, we're leaning across the table. He wants to make sure that it's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay. I'm going to pull some tarot because I did feel drawn to pull the tarot earlier. Let's see if that gives us more information. Are we spread out enough, I think? Yeah, let's see if we can just get one for each card. They tend to throw out two, but let's see if we can have one. Spirit, can we just have some clarifiers for these cards to give us some more information, please? So why is the blessed card here, please? Why is the blessed card here? What in relation to how the DM is feeling about the DF? Why is the blessed card here? And again, please, Spirit. Which one? That one? He feels very lucky, you know. He feels very, very lucky. There's almost like this sort of feeling of sorry, they were just saying to me, if he feels like he's got away with something. That doesn't mean that he's done something bad, but in his head, I think again it was about his feelings of self-worth. You know, he feels that, you know, he feels this connection is still there, but there's a part of him that doesn't quite believe that it still would be. So, you know, whether there's been something in the past, whether there's been something that's affected your connection, and he's still feeling the connection, and he's puzzled by that because he's thinking, hang on, you know, how can that be? How can I be so blessed when I actually haven't really, you know, handled this in the best way? There's some, yeah, he can't quite believe his luck, you know? It's like, you know, how can I be blessed? How? I don't get it. Why me? Why would the Divine Feminine choose me? And yet there's a part of him that knows that this is a blessed relationship, that actually the Divine Feminine had as little choice in it as he did. frankly, because this is a divine relationship. But he's still puzzled by it on a human level, you know. Still baffles him as to how he could be so lucky. It's almost like that's why it's taken him so long to sort of get his act together, because he didn't quite trust that it was real, you know. What can you tell us about the change in the wind, please? Yeah, there's definitely changes, look. Things are going to be moving forward at quite a fast pace. You know, this is definitely a card of action with the Chariot. You know, here we have this person here trying to choose which direction to go in. But, you know, they're ready to choose their direction. They're ready to go for it. So, you know, and how he's feeling about you, he's ready to make movement towards you. And this is the change. He's just assessing the best way to do it at the moment, DF. So let's have a look at breathe. Why is he taking time out, please? Whoop. I love that. We have breathe. Look at this. They're so funny, honestly. You know, here's this lady in her meditative state on her little island. And here we have the Hierophant in meditative state on the mat. You know, says it all really, doesn't it? There's a bit of healing needing to be done. You know, as I say, he's had a rocky ride, the DM has, you know, as have the DFs, to be fair. But, you know, this is what he's feeling. We're asking specifically about him. He wants to heal a situation here as well. So it may be that because he had this self-doubt over here, it may be that he feels that there's things that he has to put right. But also it's about his self-healing. You know, he's been through a lot of change. He's put a lot of work in to make those changes. And, you know, there's some sort of continued inner healing that needs to occur. Why do we have the yin energy here, please, Spirit? Are you giving me that one? No, okay. So why do we have the yin energy here? We have two. Wow. Yeah, I mean, he thinks it's time. You know, he loves your feminine loving energy that you bring, and he wants to come in and be your emperor. I mean, he is your emperor, but in his head, you know, this is how he feels. He feels you're feminine, you know, you are, you know, even if you feel you're not a particularly feminine DF, he feels you are. And that may be because he's, you know, senses the nurturing part of your personality, your character, you know, that loving energy. And he's definitely ready to step up and be your emperor here. And he thinks that the timing is right. He thinks it's time to balance this out for justice to be done. The DM is ready to put behind him all the hassles and the stress, you know, and balance things out. Hence the reason we have the feminine yin and we have the emperor here. Amazing. I love that. That is fantastic. Right, let's see what the building blocks are here for, please, Spirit. Why have we got building blocks here? Yeah, I mean, he's purveying his land, I was going to say. I don't know why I was going to say that, bizarrely, because, you know, here we have the Two of Wands. Again, a card of creation, a card of him planning, you know. He's putting down these building blocks. We know he's taking time. The Two of Wands can procrastinate just a bit, but he's looking at the bigger picture here, you know. He's got the atlas in his hand. He is looking at the bigger picture, and he's looking at a distance as well. So, you know, he's trying to build something solid here, which is why he's taking his time. He's determined to do things in the right way so that he can come in to his DF, or approach his DF, I should say, in Emperor energy. He can't afford to get this wrong. He feels that he cannot afford to get this wrong. You know, this is the opportunity. He's a lot clearer that he's been waiting for. He's a lot clearer about what he wants. So why do we have Treasure Island, please? Why do we have Treasure Island, please? Why do we have Treasure Island here, please, Spirit? Yeah, again, you know, ready to move forward. Which one? That one. Okay, let's see what this is. Yeah, he's ready to move away from something or somebody that hasn't been serving him. He's packed up his swords, he's seen things clearly, and he's ready to make a journey in order to get to this sort of, I was going to say lifestyle. It's more than lifestyle. It's more about, you know, his destination. It's where he needs to be. He knows that he sees his DF as his treasure, and this is him very much moving towards it. He wants to get this right because he sees the DF as someone who is very strong, very much in control, you know, but he may be concerned that the DF is feeling a bit aloof or a bit... he's worried about the reaction of the DF is what I'm trying to say. He doesn't know how he'll be received because he knows they've just said in my ear, messed about the DF. You know, he knows that he's messed the DF about, okay? You will know what is right in your particular relationship, okay? So you will know what this means for you. But there, you know, he knows that the DF is his empress. He knows that. But he's worried about this energy. He's worried that the DF is going to be cold. He's worried that the DF's going to possibly reject him because, you know, he has those moments of doubt where he's, you know, very much in the 3D mindset rather than the 5D. And again, he goes into those fears, those bits of, you know, anger, the denial, all those negative emotions. He dips like DFs do. You know, we all do. So he's determined to get this right, but he's anxious, but it's not going to stop him. He's on his journey and he may well have people helping him. Okay, so this is turning into another mega long reading and I really must stop doing such long readings, but let me know how you feel about the length of the readings, folks. I'm just going to pull some angel cards, just 2 or 3, because I want to see if they give us any idea of timescales. There are some timescale cards within this deck. They've just said to me romance angels, but really, you really want me to do those too? I'll do them. Shall I do these? Yeah, let's do these first. Okay. So what messages do you have, please, for the DF regarding timescales, if you have any, please, angels? If you have any, please could you give us some guidance? Yeah. They're saying it might not be. This is a really strangely worded card, I always think, because we know from the reading that there's going to be action here. But what they're saying is it's not going to be as you expect it to be, and it's not going to be when. So let's see. They're saying ask for help from others. Now, we already see that the DM is having help from others. Okay, so that's already in the pipeline. Let's see, can you give us some timescales if possible, please, Spirit? When will this group of DFs be hearing from... Yeah, they're not going to give us timescales. They've just said they're going general. It's very difficult, especially with a general reading for the collective. It's very, very difficult to pick timescales because obviously each relationship will be at a slightly different timescale. But there is going to be an opportunity here, you know, and it may surprise you. You know, you're going to have the opportunity, DF, to move this relationship forward. And that doesn't mean you've got to take the lead, because from what we're seeing here, the DM's already planning to move towards you. But it's going to be, you're going to have an opportunity that you didn't expect. Okay? So that's going to be interesting to look out for. They're not willing to give us a time scale at this moment in time, but they do want me to pull couple of romance angels, then we really must finish the reading, because I think this is probably one of the longest I've done. Right, what are the cards you need to show us, please, Spirit, for the DF? What does the DF need to know? Sorry, I'm going to reshuffle those, there's too many. Spirit, what does the DF need to know, please? Yeah, they're saying, look, you know, at the moment, DF, I know we always say this, we always say concentrate on you, you know, but they're saying free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So, you know, just as we saw in the DMs reading earlier, we saw let go and flow. That's good advice for you also, because if you can manage to separate yourself from some of the emotion of this situation and concentrate on what is best for you, the spin-off of that is that it will also affect the DM, okay? It will help him to be stronger, it will help him to be more focused, because he's not, whatever emotions you're feeling, he will feel them. In a true twin flame relationship, you pick up each other's emotions, okay? So, you know, again, we need you to be positive. Well, I say we need you to, we all need to be, let's face it, I'm included in that. And focus on things that, you know, take your own life forward. Because then when he does come in, you also will be feeling much more stable. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I was just saying, wasn't it? They've just said, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So I know it's difficult in separation when you just want to be with your divine masculine. I really do understand. But you need to stay positive. You need to try and let go of some of the emotion of it, because if anything, negative emotions will push him away. Needy emotions will push him away. You know, send him loving energy. Ask for spiritual help from, you know, spirit, God, the universe, angels, whoever you feel comfortable talking to, and ask them to free yourself of those emotions. It doesn't free you from your twin flame. It just frees you from those emotions that pull you down. Because if your energy is down, that your twin flame's energy will also be down. So, right, I'm going to finish there. I hope you found that really useful. I personally loved the fact that we had a more positive reading for the DM today. I feel really happy for him, honestly. It's good to see him out of that stressy energy we saw before. So, yeah, let me know your comments. Please, if you enjoyed the reading, please click the like button. And, yeah, if you like the channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell. And I will catch up with you all soon. Take care.